Well, I gotta tell you guys, I have never had this many broken nuts and fasteners on my floor. I mean, things have been pretty messy, but without spilling them, I've never had this many on there. So, theoretically, I should be able to get out of your way so you can see what's going on. Theoretically, I should be able to lift this up from the front, slide it out. Yeah, there's those wires I never took care of. Hang on. Yeah, about those wires, Andy. About those wires. Actually, I'd probably pull out as I lifted it up. Maybe. Let's find out. Feeling awfully lazy. And ooh, she's never been off before. Huh. Broke the seal after 90 years. "95 years, huh? So that has to lift up. Move this side forward a little bit too. All right. Let's give her a little lean and see if these wires will just follow right on out as I lift it. Oh, look at that. Ain't that beautiful? So, where are you? There you are. We got the gas tank out. Gonna do a little cleaning up of the rust here. Gonna get a gallon of acetone, pour it inside, help clean up the rust on the inside. Take a good look at it, and we'll take it inside where it's actually warm. I have a can of red coat around here somewhere. I'll take that inside, let it warm up too, and yeah, it's gonna take a little bit longer. Probably gonna take a little bit longer than doing a Yamaha 650 tank, but okay. Well, I'm gonna muck around here just a little bit. In the meantime, got the remains of the welting along there still. Where is my wire brush? Got a lot of the welting along here. Scrape that off with a tape scraper maybe. Man, she's eating up too. A lot of rust, a lot of years. You think I can't take so much off here? Because then I'm going to be doing rust repair and I don't want to do that. I'll show you the work I did on the Jones McGones one of these days. You'll see. Some of us were not meant to be welders. Huh. Still pretty sturdy. That's cool though. All right. On to the gas tank. That was an awful lot of work for that little tiny crack. Here, this is my thumb. That's what was causing me all the consternation. Seeing the size of that, I think maybe Maybe we'll try some JB Weld tank repair on there first. Not because I'm lazy or I don't want to do it right, because I'm still going to clean the tank out. But just because it's cheaper, and if I can keep things, keep things as low budget as possible, I'm much happier. And you know what? So is my wife. You know what I'm talking about. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll get back to it soon. So in the name of frugality, instead of acetone, I dumped a couple of gallons of white vinegar in here. Down there you see the cork floating by that should be on that armature for the gas gauge. So I guess I got to get some forceps and get that and put it all back together. But in the meantime, here's what we're dealing with. We've got to clean this rust off. See, part of it's... See the cloth texture there? There's actually a strip of welting that's supposed to go all across here. And, well, we're dealing with flaking welting and flaking gas tank. So we're going to take a wire wheel and get that all taken care of. It's going to have to soak at least overnight, probably. I might throw some nuts and bolts in there, but vinegar usually does a good enough job on its own. I mean, it looks like it's working in there already. So, okay, on with the wire wheel. Alright, pardon the noise and my lack of safety glasses. Okay, alright. Pardon the noise at any rate. No sense in getting more stuff in there. And I already placed my order for extra or replacement bolts and clamps for this gas tank. I didn't even think about the welting when I did it. Oh well. Place would make a fortune off me, I think. Well, at least enough for a good lunch. You know what? You don't need to watch me do this for half an hour. All right. So this is just the first run through. I'm more worried about getting down through the metal than anything else. Ran a layer of oil across it. And see how many layers of paint have been going on this over the years. But ran a layer of oil across it. I will be cleaning that off before I do anything else with it. Alright, there's what we got going on. More puttering to come. So this has been sitting all night, and it's looking kind of murky in there. There's the float for the gas gauge. See if we can get that, fish that out of there. Yeah, the vinegar's looking kind of murky, but before I shook it, it was looking pretty good. I ended up not putting any nuts or bolts in there. I didn't want to do any damage to the inside of the tank. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, empty it out, take it up to the car wash, hose it out, and then we'll come back. And since I can't find my red coat, we're probably going to have to run and buy some POR 15 or something of the like. We'll get that hole patched up. I'll also grab some JB Weld. We'll smear some on the outside too, and then hopefully between the two, gas leak will be gone. Because it's been a lot of work for one silly little gas leak. Flow like that, somebody better see a doctor. Let's see if we can speed this up a little bit. That's better. Aim's not as good, but that's much better. There's things you should and things you shouldn't do. After I rinse a gas tank, that included the one back when I was doing motorcycles. After I rinse a gas tank out with vinegar, I like to pour a little alcohol in there and then swirl it around. But the problem with some of these tanks, especially the Model A, is the arch in it. Stuff gets stuck all the way down along the seams, which is the problem we had before. So there's ways to dry it and there's ways to not dry it. A good way to dry it is to put a hair dryer on it. But out here in the garage, I don't have a hair dryer. But I think this qualifies as one of the ways you shouldn't dry it. Are you steaming in there? Oh yeah, we're steaming in there. As soon as I can't hear anything else in there, I'll take it off there. I'll let it cool down before I go get the POR 15 and get it all finished up. Well, we worked at her a little bit more, and here's what we're coming up with now. I'm going to keep sanding, go in there with my wire brush a little bit. And considering that nobody in the area has POR 15 or any kind of tank sealant, we might have to put this up for a couple of days. My hardware to put the tank back on won't be in probably till day after tomorrow anyhow. We'll see if the old Amazon can get us what we're looking for. So some things have changed since I saw you last. My inability to get the garage up past 55 degrees made it so that I can't use any of the tank liners that are commercially available. But JB Weld is always available. This is the fuel proof. I schmutzed a bunch of it on there the other afternoon and let it dry, ground it down just a little bit. Yeah, I know, it's ugly. What do you want? I just put some kerosene in here, and what we're going to do is I'm going to flip it upside down, let it rest for the next 12 hours, and if there's no kerosene leaks, that'll be good, and I'll worry about sealing the tank when the weather warms up a little bit. It's ground. Well, I don't have any of the welting that'd be used up along here and along the gas tank, but what I do have is a little bit of rubberized undercoat. It's in the name of all that I do. That's just me being a hack. Get some of that up under there. All in there, nice. Yeah, spray it down into there too. Maybe some over here. All right. And now, finally got all these valves done. Close the bottom side of the engine up. We're just in search of a 6-to-1 high compression head for that before we get that closed. But we'll come over here. We'll run some of this right down along this edge, and then we'll flip it over. We'll do the other edge too. Because welting costs money, and I already have the rubber coat. All right, let's figure out, did we leak? And I see no moisture. All right. You can grind that down a little bit more, and once the rubber coat is dry, we'll install it. Excellent. So when you come in to match paint, it's a good idea to just take the smallest piece you can from your vehicle, and you take it into the paint store, or in my case, you put the entire hood into a shopping cart and you roll into the Lowe's. That'll do. Well, we took the time to patch it up, crudely and rudely at best, but she's cleaned out. I guess the thing we've got to do now, lay down a coat of paint. Let's scuff it up a little first. Now we have these new Rust-Oleum caps. I mean, look at this stuff. That's space-age technology going on up here. I have no idea what to do with these, but we're going to set it on all the way and spray it down. If we can figure out how to put it on all the way. It's going to take a long time for this to dry in here. Temperature is only about 45. Gas tank is cold. We got nowhere to go, nothing to do. May as well. You can see the outline of the yellow stripes that I had on here. Maybe I'll put those back on. Yeah, we'll see what happens. This is Hunter Green Rust-Oleum. It seems to be the wrong color. What does that one do? Oh, that's nice. We like that one better. Well, I was going to say you guys have more important things to do than watch paint dry, but me, I don't. So I'm going to finish this up, let it dry a little bit, then we'll get it installed. Stick around. Well, it is a shade lighter, and that's okay. I'll just go back and paint the rest of the vehicle that color, most of it at least. You can still see, barely, where it says Mud Hen underneath there, which we will be painting back on, but next up, we'll put that onto here, bolt it and clamp it down, and then we'll have to make some kind of stenciling to cover that up, because I like my W3. All right, here's what we got to do. Got to get gas tank onto here. I have a bunch of hardware. We've got these neat little clamps. Those units that I cut off. I don't know if you can actually see those. There we go. See, it is literally just a steel clamp. As you tighten it down, it clamps down and holds the gas tank in place. So, without further ado, it's not too warm in here today. Let's pull that out of the way. You guys see any more wires hanging there? No? Okay, good. And this over here. I hope it goes in easy. And son of a bitch. Almost. Just a little bit farther, and we'll have all the holes lined up, and that's about as easy as you can hope for something to get, right? Look at that. Got all of our holes lined up. I did a really crappy job of painting that. Holy smokes. I'll get my hardware together. We'll get it in here, all right? It seems to be excuse me. So it seems to be that broken bolts and lost nuts and washers are just going to be the story of my life anymore. Got the front all cinched up. We'll go on moving on to the inside. Remember, we had to put all these bolts back in across here, plus the ones. Come on! I don't know if you can see them. There we go. Plus the ones that go all along here, along that beat up, mangled looking shelf there. But we'll get those in on both sides. See if I can find some replacements for these. How many do I need? 1, 2, and 3. These have the square bolts on them, though. I really like the square bolts on there. So there's those 3. And we'll get it all strapped down. We'll get a look at it. We'll see how it works. There's that repair job. Not too bad, you know. Throw enough paint and stuff over some JB weld. It'll look almost normal. All right. I'll be back in a few. Well, I don't know about you, but I've had enough of you watching me struggle with these stupid fucking bolts trying to get this old thing aligned properly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn you guys off. I'm going to get these in, and maybe I'll bring you back when I do the ones underneath. I mean, there's one I can't get in. I don't know what's holding me up, and I just have to tighten the bolts down. But, yeah, we'll be back in a minute. You see how that one's done up in there? That's what we got to do. We take these, slide them onto here, try to line them up with the bolt holes. Bring a bolt down in from the top. So you see here how these should be set up. See how the nut and the bolt is in there? They're just clamped down. A couple of these guys are done already, so that one's not, but these two are all clamped down. So you can see what they're supposed to be like. All right, it's a few days later, and this is going to close us off for another one. I have everything put back together in here. We got our dashboard put back in, the gas line's hooked back up, the steering is back in. Everything's going here, no leakage here. I mean, there's only just a little tiny bit of fuel in there anyway. So I had my surgery on this other hand, so it's going to slow me down a little bit. But I'll do what I can. We still have to remake the floor for the mud hen here. Got a question for you. Would you guys rather see me doing drag races? If I do the drag races, I've got to do all 5 in the series. And, you know, they're bracket drags, so I have a chance. Or would you rather see me just tossing it around in the dirt at some of the exhibition runs? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below what you'd rather see. We'll make it happen. Y'all take care. See ya.